Mr. Johnson on some of the checklists that he has ticked tonight for the next president of this country?
Yes, I do agree that the reason why people agitate for the younger generation of leaders to take over government is because associated with the youth is vibrancy, is flexibility, is creativity. And in fact, in Thomism, when a young man is thrust into power, there seems to be a reverberation of hope and optimism among the younger generation because it resonates. It sends a message that, look, there are possibilities in this country and I can achieve my dream, I can attain my aim. There was a time in this country, it was the younger people in the army that were led into the Second World War that began what we call nationalism. It was the younger generation of people that began the nationalism across the West Africa that led to the independence, to the point the colonial masters could look at this younger generation that were about to take the reins of a fresh country. They trusted them and entrusted powers to them. And they actually worked. Younger generation of people form both the parliamentary system of government and the presidential system of government. And you cannot argue that within this period, these younger leaders in government were able to do greater things. At what point did we miss it? That in fact, we no longer have confidence and trust in younger generation when you can in fact make a case that the present day young people are far better, are more creative than the younger generation that led to the birth of Nigeria. But unfortunately, the older generation appear to have grasp of power. And the younger generation do not, up till now, it has not come to their realization that this power will not come by asking. It will come by you taking the powers. And there are many strategies to adopt. The most important thing among the young people is to look at competence.
Yeah, so I'll allow you to talk more on some of the issues that you have raised, specifically about the issue of capacity and how the fact that young people will not find themselves. They have to fight for it. But I'll allow you to dwell more on that after this short break, everyone. Don't go anywhere. We're still talking about a checklist for those who will be leading Nigeria in the next round of elections. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us. You perhaps at some point maybe tweeted or sent a WhatsApp message or read something about 2023 presidency. A lot of people have said, look, maybe it's too early for us to talk about it. At some other conversation, have it that we need to start talking about it so that we can get a hold on the kind of leadership that we want. And so that's where we're giving you that opportunity to hear and see what Nigerians are talking about. Ladipo Johnson, a public affairs analyst, and Daniel Bwala, both gentlemen are talking to us, giving us experience and knowledge of their thoughts on how and ways we need to go in 2023. Let's go to our Abuja studio with Mr. Bwala. Young and capacity, that is one thing. Mr. Johnson spoke about the zoning arrangement. Has it worked? Has it not worked, Mr. Bwala?
Well, you see, people talk about this zoning arrangement and some people try to throw it up as if because it is in an unwritten code, it does not apply. If you look at the Constitution says the composition of the government of the Federation must be run in such a way that it will reflect the principles of federal character. And when you compose a government, you start with the president, the vice president, and you come down to the last person in the civil service. And so if the president continued to come from one part of the country without prejudice to the fact that other parts of the country are covered in other positions, it does not fulfill the mandatory requirement as provided in the Constitution. That is number one. Number two, when people talk about the zoning power move here, power move there, for the time immemorial, power has been moving only between two geopolitical zones in this country, between the northwest and the southwest. Whenever power goes to the south, it doesn't go to the southeast, it doesn't go to the south-south. Whenever power goes to the north, it doesn't go to the north-central, it doesn't go to the northeast. But because it is zoned, it is broken in such a way that they say power moves to the north, then go and fight for it. Power moves to the south, go and fight for it. Two advantageous regions have dominated the space. And so where do you start in the argument? Do you make the case from geopolitical zones or you make the case from this broken region into south and north. There is inequality in all of these places. Even if you look at the composition of government in terms of appointment and possibilities and opportunities, it still moves within these two regions, dominantly above and over other regions of the country. They will tell you that in democracy, it is a game of numbers. So if they produce the numbers, when they bring government to bear, the government will have to factor them. But when we talk about leadership amongst the young people, are we merely asking it for the age, or we're asking it for the competence? The reason why emphasis is placed on the age is because this younger generation of people are mobile. They are moving. The same set of people that could not get councillorship in Nigeria have found themselves as congressmen, mayors, governors, and parliamentary members in countries where the nuclear code is the most important thing. But you come back to Nigeria, a country of less than $1 trillion, in terms of whatever we have, they don't trust the younger generation. You find political party playing lip service whenever election cycle comes close, and they talk about, we believe in the youth, we believe in the youth, all kinds of announcement and advert you see. But in actual fact, do they believe in the youth?
But Mr.
Then
Bwala,
the greatest culprit of all is the media, the members of the press. I'm sorry, Sheun, you are trying your best by covering for the youth. But
okay,
good, the press have not given the right coverage for the younger generation of, you are trying your best, that's what I'm saying, to stay on them. One or two occasions they talk about youth, and then we all go back to the old. But the younger generation, these guys in flutterwave, these guys in pay stack, these guys entrepreneurs, these guys in politics, has there been emphasis? Are you covering them to look at what they are doing? Are you profiling them? Because by doing so, you will guide the country. The media will guide the country away from the old to the new generation. Because no matter your capacity, if you are not